Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Chase, a show most people watch because they can't turn it off. I'm your host, Chase Victorson. Thanks for tuning in. You might have noticed that last week we had the week off. This was so that I could give the cast and crew a much needed spring break because their boss is such a total hard ass. It was well deserved, but now we're back and more eager than ever to bring you the hilarity you crave. So let's just jump right into it. I was looking at the calendar and noticed that this week actually marks the beginning of National X Days, which is where virtually every day for the rest of the year is a celebration for some reason or another. I figured I'd point out some of the funnier days coming up, and I wanted to remind you that these are all actual days on the calendar. The third Friday in every April is National Clean Out Your Medicine Cabinet Day, which is sponsored by the pharmaceutical industry. I figured they chose a Friday probably because they wanted everybody to have a fun weekend. This is followed, of course, by National Make Sure You Have All of Your Prescriptions Day, which is the following Saturday, and that's sponsored by CVS. Apparently, the companies are looking to turn this weekend into the next Valentine's Day, which may catch on because there is a coalition of people that are looking to combine National Clean Out Your Medicine Cabinet Day and Valentine's Day. They're called date rapists. Of course, everybody knows what day 420 is, with celebrities such as Woody Harrelson and Bill Maher calling it their favorite holiday. For those of you that don't know, 420 is, of course, Hitler's birthday. April is also National IBS Awareness Month, although to be honest, I'm not sure how many people want others aware of their IBS. April 22nd to the 28th is National Allergy Awareness Week. Personally, I love this, and I think Leah Thomas should be the spokesperson for it, with an ad campaign showing the dangers of having nuts go unlabeled. May is National Shit Bitch Slut Tourette's National Awareness Day. And apparently one day in May is National Lost Sock Day, but I can never find it. May 11th is National Eat What You Want Day, although to be fair, for fat people like me, this is every day. June 6th is National Best Friends Day. I always have a party on June 6th, but nobody ever shows up to it. June 17th to the 23rd is National Learning Disability Day. You may notice that it is technically a day, but lasts a week. That's because it takes some people longer to celebrate, I guess. September is World Alzheimer's Month. The people who made this month must have forgotten that January was also World Alzheimer's Month already. And finally, September 25th is World Ataxia Day. Ataxia is a condition that causes poor muscle control and clumsy movement, which is odd because I already thought we celebrated clumsy people on St. Patrick's Day, but I guess I digress. Now on to the news. A headless body was fished out of the Hudson River in New York. Authorities are saying it was either a man who hanged himself on a nearby bridge or the long-lost body of Ichabod Crane. Earlier this week, Iran launched a wave of drones and missiles against Israel, prompting President Biden to return early from his vacation to actually be president. You may have heard of all the commotion going on at Columbia University. Well, a rabbi at Columbia has suggested Jewish students, quote, go home and not come back to campus due to extreme anti-Semitism, which is the first time that the pro-Hamas student body has actually agreed with a rabbi. However, everybody was confused when the pro-Hamas student group's suggestion to go home was immediately followed by, unless your home is Israel, then don't go there, you Zionist colonizers. According to a new report, a woman claims to be in love with herself. She deleted all of her dating apps in January after realizing she wanted to focus on her relationship with herself. This flies directly in the face of the established wisdom that self-love is a vice, which is also weird because I thought it was bad if you loved yourself too many times a day. So I'm not sure what this woman is doing. Kitty Riskin has written a new book called 10 Men, A Year of Casual Sex, because she, quote, liked the idea of having sex with someone who cared about me, someone who would regard for my feelings. She writes in the book that she used dating apps in the hopes of meeting a more serious suitor and started casually having sex with as many people as she wanted to. It only makes sense that she did this because, of course, randomly having sex with people is going to help you find the one who cares about you and has regard for your feelings. It actually reminds me of the old adage, if you're an alcoholic, just keep drinking until you can't get drunk anymore. College basketball phenom Caitlin Clark has inked an 8-year deal worth a reported $28 million in a signature shoe. Apparently, though, the $28 million is for spending on shoes, and the signature shoe, although a pump, is not the kind of pump basketball players are used to. Harvard University has lost another billionaire donor this week as Ken Griffin has announced that he will stop donating to the school amid the increase in anti Semitism on campus. Harvard suffered a plague of deep pocketed donors announcing that they will be stopping their donations effective immediately, which has had drastic effects on the school, with Harvard's endowment dwindling to a measly $49.3 billion. This also explains why tuition is at an all-time high of nearly $60,000 a year. A woman in New York is being celebrated as a tough cookie after celebrating her 93rd birthday. And while 93 is a big age, many of you are probably asking why the news is covering this particular birthday. Well, the woman was a spry 73 years old when she was shot in the head while being mugged. She chased after the mugger with a fishing pole until he was apprehended. Tough cookie indeed. To celebrate, the woman is attempting to defy death once more by continuing to live. Minors will no longer be able to buy diet pills and supplements intended for muscle building or weight loss after New York passed a law prohibiting the sale of such supplements until a minor has reached 18. There's no word yet on whether the New York legislature will be working on anything meaningful for this session, though. NYPD recruits are being taught basic American Sign Language as part of their training to better communicate with deaf people during emergencies, although I'm not sure how effective it's going to be when you're running after a suspect and signing the word stop from behind them. An iguana named Doozy has laid 24 eggs at a Miami resort pool after being trapped inside a water slide. This is a dramatic improvement over what is normally laid in a Miami pool, which is what prompted Doozy to raise her family there in the first place. A woman named Swastika Chandra has been banned from using Uber for her unusual first name. The name Swastika means good luck in Sanskrit and is actually a pretty common name globally. But Uber suddenly banned her account last year due to it being potentially offensive. The woman, however, has found solace in the form of a Facebook group of similarly situated people founded by Grant Nutsniffer, James Let's Kill the Jews, and Dirty Filthy Sanchez. Although, to be fair, Filthy is just his nickname. Candace Cameron Bure has revealed that she nearly died on the set of Fuller House when a Ninja Warrior-style obstacle course was used in an episode. The final zipline was not installed correctly and collapsed, causing serious damage to the set and almost killing Cameron Bure. This is not the first time that Cameron Bure has dealt with a near-death experience on the set of Full House. You may recall the episode where she woke up from a nap with the Olsen twins standing over her with a knife before giggling and running off. A Miami man lost a whopping 117 pounds after randomly receiving a text from the Tinder date he was talking to, making fun of his weight. The man was reportedly petrified and changed his life for the better and is much better off since the incident, which is why I've taken to texting random strangers and telling them how fat they are. Usually I don't get any kind of a response, but I did just get one that said, "Mom?" According to experts, nearly 16% of Americans are constipated, and if you're over 60, that number jumps to nearly 40%, which has dietitians weighing in on what snacks are best if you want to eat late at night but ensure that you have a good bowel movement in the morning. As someone who has great poops 5 to 10 times a day, I can tell you that personally nothing works better than spicy food mixed with a strong curry. The spicy food keeps everything moving smoothly, and the curry's good for your gut health. Even better than that, if you don't flush at night, the smell eventually will wake you up, saving you money on expensive alarm clocks. And finally, New York has released its 2025 budget, which is set at a staggering $237 billion. I've taken the time to painstakingly go through the budget and wanted to tell you three things that every New Yorker needs to know about it. One, it's not enough money to stop the city from smelling like pee all the time. Two, it's not enough money to add any train lines in like 30 years. And three, that's more than enough money to give migrants a prepaid debit card every week. Well, that's about all I know. Thanks for checking in, and please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me a lot. Check in next week as we celebrate our 10th episode by hopefully filming 2 whole episodes for you. So hopefully you'll have that to look forward to. Bye for now.